Hoi hoi, sesibuyile, siphindile, re buile batho ba heso, re koho, ya, Sitsonga va vulavula ntiso, loko va ri i koho, meaning we are there. Yes, we are back. And what are we on about today? You know, we're always relevant. We always bring about information that, transcend within, spheres, right? Different spheres altogether, right? And today, I think somehow I needed to do this video, right? And I believe it is very relevant to the future of our youth, right? And I've seen it a long time ago, right? Though, I was very busy with other stuff and I couldn't pursue that type of, you know, um, I can say avenue at that time, right? But for now, I feel like, yes, there is a need for, our, mainly the government of South Africa to just actually pursue such initiatives, right, that will foster, job creation and will help our people to grow. Because sometimes we do not understand that when you go through a certain avenue, you help the nation to grow, right? Rather than just actually oppressing people and thinking that you will remain in power for long, of which that it's moronic thinking, right? So now, what is the topic today? The topic today is about this career, right? That I believe many of our people should, follow, right? A career that is broad, right? I remember when some of us, we did engineering and we were like, it's not like we wanted to, some of us, right? But we were forced because at that time it was like, a talk of town. Everybody was talking about it, then you end up just saying, oh, what am I waiting for? Let me just go there and see. But now you can see Ramaphosa came in and break down that engineering. You have an engineer without a job in South Africa, which really does not make sense. In the world out there, you will never have that. But here in South Africa, it's happening. An engineer without a job. But if you can see, it's a trend within the whole of Africa. You've got a lot of people who are educated, but instead of doing something which is progressive, but they're doing like either nothing or useless stuff, right? Things that they did not, go to school or trained for, right? So it's something which is, does not in actual fact make sense. But anyway, it's life. What can you say? Yeah. So today we are looking at this um, career of technology, right? I'll just have a little bit of a definition for what technology is, right? Um, because I do my research sometimes, right? It depends. Right. What is technology? Technology is the use of scientific knowledge to create tools, right? Knowledge to create tools, right? Techniques and processes to solve problems. Do you understand that? And problems, when you're solving problems, what does that mean? You're improving lives and achieving goals, right? That will be the main objective of technology, right? And I remember when we were doing engineering, some of us, we were taught how to solve problems, right? Mainly, like, I remember this guy, Gluj, the prof that I used to go and train under, and he will ask me a lot of questions, and I needed to answer. Why? Because you have this narrative in engineering that you do not come with problems to me, right? You show me a problem, but you come with a solution. That was the narrative. And we lived by that. We understood that. That's how we were trained, right? That you do not bring a problem, but you bring a solution to the problem. You don't come and just show me a problem. No. You come, you say, this is the solution, and therefore, I will say, oh, okay, this is befitting to solve the problem, or not, or it needs, sort of, tweaking there, so that it can, at the end of the day, become the solution that we are looking for. So technology is more or less that way of, solving problems, but using knowledge and tools, that help you to become a problem solver, right? Giving solutions to the problematic world. And the more you have those solutions, the more you are helping a lot of people. It's not, technology is not about you, it's about all of us, right? Because whatever you bring about, which is a solution, might be the problem that I'm facing, but I don't know how to solve it. And you bring about that solution. That's a good thing. That's those who, when even they die, they've done something, right? They get to be fulfilled in whatever they were doing in this world, right? So now we're talking about technology, right? But for this video, I think we're gonna just have a focus on mainly what made China to grow. I think that to me, it's sort of a game changer in a sense that the focus of China was to be bigger than just a manufacturer, right? China is a manufacturing hub. We know everything is made in China, even our toilet, our food, our whatever, our teeth, our eyes, our nose. Everything is made in China. Even Ramaphosa, probably you find that this guy is made in China. I tell you the truth. Ramaphosa might be made in China. I think there is a sticker there. There's probably a sticker behind Ramaphosa that says made in China. We wouldn't know that anyway. It's not like if somebody stayed in Shawelo, he might not be made in China. Yeah, but anyway, jokes down, guys. Yeah, but the way the Chinese took it, right, it was a matter of being, remember, they used to be an opioid or opiate or whatever. That drug was affected individuals, mainly in the Hong Kong's areas, in the Chinese mainlands and stuff like that, right? Because they used to produce that thing in mass, right? So now, they have seen to it that there is a way to grow. And what was that way? The way to grow was to look at other areas, right? And which area was like on a fast pace in understanding things. America was on a fast pace. Yeah, though you have Russia, which was on another pace, but America was so diverse, was, diversifying with everything, right? And the reason why America was so diverse is because of the diversity that you find in terms of people from different areas. Like, unlike Russia is just Russians, right? You go to Russia, you find that 99.99% is Russian people, right? Though those individuals, they're very clever. But if you are clever but you do not have diversity, you get to be tricked in moving in one direction rather than just a broader aspect, right? So now America is broad. America has, looked at things in a way that it will solve humanity problems, right, throughout the world. They didn't just focus on America and say, no. They are the first to do things, but those things, you see, they implement them throughout the world. And they do work. And everybody, aspire to be in America, aspire to go by American norms, American ethics and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is a matter of knowledge, acquiring a proper knowledge to do the right things. And at the end of the day, those right things help other people to solve their problems, right? So China looked at that model and said, what can we do to get to a point where America is and supersede them? You see the analogy? Not to be like Americans, no. To get what they are doing and afterwards supersede them. And already, as I'm saying, China has already been what? A manufacturing hub, right? So meaning to say the only thing that they were left with, it is just to acquire the knowledge, right? That the Americans have. And they did that. How did they do that? Oh man, I don't want to get into trouble. But anyway, we need to unpack it, right? So what China did, they had a hacking group, right? These guys will hack through a lot of American computers to find out. That is there, not now. No. Now China is very much Now China is very much ahead of America, very much ahead, right? That America is just actually following on China. Even though, at most we hear a lot about America is because of the propagandist, the media, the PR stance and stuff like that. Yes, we will hear more about America. We won't hear more about China. But China is way much advanced. But in the beginning, China was never advanced. No, America was always ahead. But Chinese guys, they formed this group. I remember the name of the guy. It was Lion something. They used to call him Lion. This guy was the head of this hacking group. So they will hack in the systems of China, get information, and after that, utilize that information, give it to different people to say, this is what Americans are doing, right? Let's do it indifferently, right? And let's supersede what they are doing, right? So that at the end of the day, nobody will find out that we are the ones who are hacking their systems, but that maybe we know better than they. If I know better than you, it will mean that I might have not stolen from you, but you're the ones who's stealing from me, right? So that was how China got to be ahead with technology, right? And you look at, the situation now with China. Look, they are using way much ahead systems, like systems that are amazing, right? They can do things which are very amazing, which, for that matter, America cannot do. Or if America wants to do those things, they become very expensive, right? That they end up not doing them. But China, because it's got what? It's got capital, it's got human capital, it's got everything, right? It becomes easy for them to do fast-moving trains, AI that detect your faces and stuff like that, self-driving cars. Though you can see Elon Musk is trying with this self-driving system for Tesla, but China's guys are already ahead. They already have the head. He's struggling with that, but Chinese guys are already having that, right? And that's why now you see with the situation with what we call BYD cars, they are everywhere. These, what else? The electric cars, they call them, right? EVs, yeah, electric vehicles, models, right? So those are ahead. They are making inroads in UK and US, but though you can see Trump want to come in and put more tariffs so that those cars will not be sold in America and whatever. But you check in China, Tesla is being sold widely in China. These Apple iPhones and stuff that they're widely sold in China, and they're making a lot of money from that. But the American agenda is all about the dollar, the greenback, the mighty dollar they call it. If you are taking away the dollar, they don't like it. But if you are giving them the dollar, oh, you are a good friend anyway. But anyway, yeah, look. So they use these hacking systems. They use like what we call Kali Linux to hack, right? A system, right? You need to have a certain setup system, right? So that system, mainly what I used to use, is what is called Kali Linux, right? So Kali Linux, it's something that comes from VMware. VMware is a company, it's an American company that, have seen that many of the people do not have a system which they utilized only for hacking, but they utilize for their daily, works and stuff like that. So now, what you do, you have your own laptop. It might be the Android laptop. It might be Mac OS. It might be Linux or Linux, whatever it might be. So now, you can utilize this VMware software to partition your system, right? Partitioning system means to say to break the system into different parts, right? So you have a partition for something, you have a partition for something. So now you can partition your system to have your partition for Kali Linux, right? So Kali Linux is a program on its own. It's where you can be able to access the dark web, right? Mainly, if you have to access the dark web, you use Onion, web, or what was that? Like Google, right? Whatever they call it, right? So you can use that Onion to access the dark web. You can see all these websites which are selling. So I did that quite a few times, but I never felt good because it looked bad. Man, come on, people selling drugs all the time when you are just going through those websites there in the dark web, it's drugs, it's, evil stuff, and you end up saying, no, man, this is just not right, right? And I do not understand why the government is just actually governments, right? They are not doing away with those type of things. But anyway, bad characters will always be there no matter what, because there are people who are very well endowed with the knowledge of computer science that they kind of like feel like they can do whatever they want. And yeah, to make money, it's a big problem in this world, right? So now you have this Chinese guys hacking the American system, getting the information and utilizing it. After 20 years, look how far China has become. China is big, right? So now, what I ask is mainly we African people, right? Why don't we, follow the same trends, right? Understand things. I'm not meaning to go and steal from somebody, but try to understand how things work, right? And implement those at a government level, not just a private or personal level, but at mainly a government level. That's the atmosphere I always talk about of thriving, the atmosphere to enable your people to make it. And, when we talk about joblessness, I'm saying other countries, they're talking 2%, 3%. We are talking 60% of youth. We are talking 30 or 40% of the whole, in general. So it does not make sense that you have other people talking 2%, you yourself, you're talking 30%, you feel like everything is fine. It's definitely not fine. And mainly for our youth, as IT, it is so big and wide. Look, IT is very big, very, very big, more than you can ever imagine, right? So in IT, you got these new things called AI, right? You got cryptocurrency, you got IoTs, you got like robotics, you got machine learning, which more or less with robotics, right? So it's very wide that everybody in the world can work in technology, right? And not do anything, but just the whole world just work in IT. We don't do anything anymore, right? It's possible in that, regards. Why? Because technology is very wide. Like you have seen, I think, a video, if you haven't seen it, of a guy who was operating a yellow plant or an excavator from his home, right? The excavator is almost something like, I think the guy was in South Africa and the excavator was in Australia. So that guy was operating that excavator from the comfort of his home in Australia, but he's here. That's technology, right? It's so wide, it's so broad that at the end of the day, yes, it will take away a lot of jobs, but at the same time, it will create a lot of work, right? And I've seen this narrative of saying that the AI will take away a lot of works. Yeah, it might, but in a long run, many people will do things easy. It will make things to move quicker, right? That's what it's actually meant for, to move things very quick, right? So now, if our governments could have seen this coming, make initiatives, like have a lot of schools which mainly focus on just technology, right? At least that could have been something. And at the end of the day, assist the people who are willing, to form startups, right? Have an initiative to create startups. Those things, they employ a lot of people. Why? Because you need people who are doing data capture, right? You need people who are doing research. You need people it's a broader aspect rather than just, if I'm in engineering, yes, you can go into mining engineering, you can go into, but, it only employs a certain number of people. But when it comes to technology, and I always make an example of saying, look at YouTube. How many people does YouTube employ? 150,000 or so. Look how many people does Google employ? 150 or 200,000. Look how many people does Facebook employ. You see, when you just actually sum up those people, they are in the millions as far as technology is concerned in the USA. Why can't we do that in South Africa, right? You got Netflix. why don't we have few of those? You got Showmax, yes, but why don't we have few of those, right? And government should be in the forefront to say, guys, you need to do 1, 2, 3. But if our government is not doing as such, it does not help us anyhow. It does not help people to create jobs, of which we need to create these jobs for our youth, right? And youth, technology is not that hard. Yes, there is hard elements of it, but at the most part of it is very easy. It's a matter of understanding what's supposed to be done, right? And when you do it, yes, those who are doing research, they will bring about that research. Then from there, you learn from the research how they have done it. Then you move forward. At least you are doing something in a day, right? So, but our governments, all their focus is on traditional things, right? I'm not against any traditional thing. I'm not against mining. I'm not against construction. I'm not against human, what do they call it? Human resource. I remember when we had to go to school, and when you are going to school, we normally will get in at around 7 o'clock in the morning, right? And we come out at 5 at school, right? At varsity, right? So now, these technology, these human resource guys, you find them sitting there when you're going, you look at these guys, you say, these guys are useless, right? You go into class at 7 o'clock, until 5 in the afternoon. When you come out, you still see them outside. But these guys, where do they study? What is their problem? They will never amount to anything. But now they earn even more than you. I know there are people who can relate with that if you are, you studied like we did, some of us, right? But anyway, it was like, a thing that can create about more employment for many people, right? Help many people. Yes, there might be a situation where you see Google laying off people, Facebook laying off people, but those are just interims. Those are just like, at that time. It's not like all the time, right? And anyway, if they lay you off, there is something else to do, right? There is always something else to do in technology. It's just a matter of, getting yourself informed, getting more knowledge, understanding more. Because when you are in technology, things changes very fast, right? I always hate these guys from the APIs, right? Like if you're using some other guy's APIs and they tweak and they change something, and you are keeping on the old API program, and you still feel like it's still the same, and tomorrow you go and you check your system, you find that it's malfunctioning. You get to be in a mooring, right? But technology changes fast. Oh, API means application programming interface, right? It's what the researchers or the guys who are doing the software allow everyone to tap into their software for more information, like mainly, guys who have got like big data centers or whatever, or they've got connection with big data centers, they've stored their data there. You want to access that data, right? You need an API. Those guys program or create a software which is based on that API, then you implement through their codes and stuff, implement that API within your code, then your code can pick up that information. Like I did a software which was code fixing software. So I was like connecting to ChatGTP API, right? It was then when it was ChatGTP 3, not the 3.5 table that they have now, but the earlier one, the previous, the main one that we came to know, right? I was using that API to do, to tap up the information as far as code is concerned, every type of code. It doesn't matter whether language, what you are using, Java, JavaScript, HTML, or Python, C hash, C++, whatever. It didn't matter. You could fix each and every like now. So now, when they tweaked and changed the API, they made it that you could just actually access that from what? From what is this? From ChatGTP, straight from it. You can just make a code. If that code is having bugs, you can take it, paste it on ChatGTP, then ChatGTP can give you a solution. But when I checked with that norm, I keep on falling short at most of the times because, you know, the ChatGTP understands its own thing. So you need to guide it because remember, ChatGTP is a training model. It's a trained model. So it needs more information to keep on what? Training itself, advancing itself, right? Because that's how it was created, to advance itself. So yeah, guys, I think I wouldn't dwell too much or dive too much. I think the time is moving, and you know, it might be a bigger video. I don't want it to be long, so I think we'll have part 2 of this video so that I can keep on explaining about how, you know, our government can foster job employments through technology. Technology is vast, it's big, right? And that's how you have Silicon Valley, just an area, you know, that area is like a mining area. If you have ever been in a mining complex, it's like a mining complex, but a mining of technology. And it is good with technology because you can work like anytime, anywhere. It does not matter, right? It depends on the systems that you are using to work. But anyway, guys, I got a little bit knowledge. Don't see my mask. Yeah, don't just see that and, you know, judge the book. No. Don't use the cover to judge the book. You use the internal aspects, right? So yes, oi guys. I'll see you on the next video. I'll make it short so that, you know, we'll have part 2 of this one so that we can, you know, explain further as far as technology is concerned. Oi. See you on the next video.